The old church stood weary, its walls echoing the passage of time. Years of harsh weather had taken their toll. The paint peeled, revealing the bare wood beneath. The roof leaked, letting in the elements. Inside, the air hung heavy with a sense of despair, a palpable weight that seemed to press down on everyone. Yet, on this Sunday, a different kind of air stirred. Sunlight pierced through the stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on the floor. Pastor Gabriel's voice resonated through the room. He spoke of hope, a beacon in the darkness. He spoke of Jubilee, a time of renewal and joy. His words were like sparks in the darkness, igniting a flame of hope in the hearts of the congregation. He reminded the congregation of the ancient tradition, a time-honored practice that brought solace and relief, a time when debts were forgiven and the weight of financial burdens was lifted, a time when people were set free, their chains broken, their spirits renewed. He urged them to seek their own Jubilee, not just financially, but in every aspect of their lives, to find freedom and renewal in their hearts and minds. Pastor Gabriel's gaze swept over the faces before him, each one telling a story of struggle and endurance. He saw their struggles, their burdens, etched deeply into their expressions. But he also saw their potential, their resilience, the strength that lay within them. His voice grew stronger, filled with conviction, as he declared the promise of Jubilee. "Our Jubilee starts now," he declared, his voice ringing with certainty. "Let us claim it together, through faith and action. Together we can transform our lives and our community." Thomas sat in the pew, his heart heavy. Pastor Gabriel's words resonated deeply, but reality felt insurmountable. His family was drowning in debt. The farm, passed down for generations, was on the verge of foreclosure. He looked at his wife, Sarah. Her face, once radiant, was etched with worry. Their two young children, oblivious to the gravity of the situation, played quietly at their feet. The weight of their circumstances pressed down on Thomas. He felt like a failure. The walk home was silent, their footsteps heavy on the dusty path. As they sat down for their meager dinner, a wave of despair washed over Thomas. He couldn't bear to see his family suffer any longer. He had to do something. But what? Later that evening, as Sarah tucked the children into bed, Thomas sat alone, lost in thought. He remembered Pastor Gabriel's sermon, Jubilee, a time for new beginnings. Could they dare to hope for such a thing? A gentle hand on his shoulder brought him back to the present. Sarah sat beside him, her eyes filled with concern. "What's troubling you, Thomas?" she asked softly. He hesitated, then poured out his heart to her, his fears, his frustrations, his longing for a better life for their family. As he spoke, a thought began to form in his mind, a faint glimmer of hope. He remembered his grandfather, a skilled carpenter, and the intricate toys he used to make. Thomas had inherited his grandfather's tools and a touch of his talent. The next morning, Thomas rose with a newfound determination. He went to the shed where his grandfather's tools lay dormant. Covered in dust, they seemed to whisper stories of a bygone era. As he picked up a well-worn chisel, a sense of purpose washed over him. He decided to build wooden toys, simple yet beautiful creations that would bring joy to children. Sarah, her heart warmed by her husband's renewed spirit, offered her support. She would help him sell them at the marketplace. Together, they worked tirelessly, their shared dream fueling their efforts. The sound of hammer against wood became a rhythm of hope, echoing through their small home. Each toy they crafted was imbued with their love, their faith, and their fervent prayer for a brighter future. The following Saturday, Thomas and Sarah set up a small stall at the bustling marketplace, their hopes high and their dreams even higher. Their hearts pounded with a mixture of excitement and trepidation as they meticulously arranged their handcrafted items. They carefully arranged the wooden toys, each one a testament to their hard work, dedication, and unwavering faith in their craft. At first, people passed by, their attention drawn to more familiar wares, the usual hustle and bustle of the market. But then, a young boy, his eyes wide with wonder and curiosity, stopped to admire a beautifully crafted wooden train. His mother, initially hesitant, couldn't resist her son's pleas and the charm of the toy. Word of the exquisite handcrafted toys spread quickly, carried by the whispers of delighted customers. Soon, a crowd gathered around their stall, intrigued and eager to see more. People were drawn not just to the beauty of the toys, but also to the heartfelt story behind them. The story of a family's resilience, their faith, and their unwavering belief in the promise of Jubilee resonated deeply with everyone who stopped by. Back at the old church, a transformation was taking place. The congregation, inspired by Pastor Gabriel's message and the tangible evidence of hope within their community, began to share their own stories of breakthrough. A farmer spoke of his bountiful harvest, defying the previous year's drought. A seamstress shared how she had secured a steady stream of orders, her skills finally recognized and appreciated. A young man, once lost in despair, testified to finding a renewed sense of purpose after helping Thomas and Sarah at the marketplace. The air, once heavy with despair, now vibrated with energy and optimism. The spirit of Jubilee was sweeping through the community, touching lives and igniting a collective belief in the possibility of transformation. Weeks turned into months. Thomas and Sarah's business flourished, their toys, imbued with love, craftsmanship, and the silent prayers of a family clinging to hope, became a cherished possession in homes throughout the region. With each sale, they chipped away at their debt. And finally, the day arrived when they made the last payment. The weight that had burdened them for so long lifted, replaced by an overwhelming sense of gratitude and liberation. They were free. Standing on the porch of their farm, which was no longer under threat of foreclosure, Thomas and Sarah embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces. Their children, sensing the profound shift in their parents' demeanor, danced around them, their laughter echoing the joyous melody of their hearts. East Section 8, the source of our Jubilee. That Sunday, the old church overflowed with people, each one bringing their own stories and experiences. The once peeling paint seemed less noticeable, as if the walls themselves were rejuvenated by the gathering. The leaky roof less significant, as the congregation's focus was elsewhere. What mattered was the spirit that filled the space, a spirit that transcended the physical imperfections of the building, a spirit of gratitude, hope, and unwavering faith, enveloping everyone present. Pastor John, as Pastor Gabriel. My friends, we have all witnessed the transformative power of Jubilee, a power that has touched each of our lives in profound ways. But let us never forget the source of our blessings, the divine grace that guides us. It is not our own doing that has brought us this far, but the grace of God, ever present and ever merciful. Pastor Gabriel beamed at his congregation, his heart swelling with pride and love. He had witnessed their struggles, their doubts, and their ultimate triumph, a journey marked by resilience and faith. He knew that their Jubilee was not merely the result of hard work or good fortune, but something deeper. It was a testament to their faith, a faith that had been tested and had emerged stronger. Their willingness to believe in the possibility of a brighter future, even when faced with overwhelming odds, was the true source of their Jubilee. Section 9. Gratitude and Growth. The journey to Jubilee had not been easy. There were moments of doubt, frustration, and exhaustion. But through it all, Jacob and Mary held on to their faith. They taught their children to be grateful for every blessing, no matter how small. Mary, as Sarah. We have to remember it's the little things that count. Every blessing, no matter how small, is a gift. They learned that true wealth was not measured in material possessions, but in the love they shared, the strength they found in each other, and the unwavering belief that God would never forsake them. Their story became a beacon of hope, reminding others that even in the darkest of times, the light of faith can guide them towards a brighter tomorrow. Section 10. A community transformed. The spirit of Jubilee spread throughout the community like wildfire. Inspired by Jacob and Mary's story, others began to tap into their own talents and resources. The marketplace, once a place of mere transaction, evolved into a hub of creativity and collaboration. Customer 1, as farmer. We have so much to share. Let's make sure everyone has enough. Customer 2, as artisan. Together we can create something truly beautiful. Farmers shared their surplus harvest with those in need. Artisans collaborated on unique creations, their combined skills resulting in breathtaking works of art. The once disparate community, bound by hardship and despair, was now united by a shared sense of purpose, generosity, and unwavering faith. Section 11. The Legacy of Hope. Years later, the old church stood tall and proud, its walls freshly painted, its roof repaired. The once weary structure now served as a vibrant testament to the transformative power of faith, resilience, and the enduring spirit of Jubilee. Jacob, as Thomas. Look at what we've built together. This is more than just a building. It's a symbol of our journey and our faith. The story of Jacob, Mary, and their community became a cherished legend, passed down through generations. A reminder that even in the face of adversity, hope can flourish, that faith can move mountains, and that the promise of Jubilee, a time for restoration, renewal, and the celebration of God's abundant grace, is a legacy we are all invited to claim.